guys want to come with me to New York City and live life with me, you know, go on the journey with me, feel free to subscribe because it's gonna be a really good time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexis, and today I'm gonna be sharing my art school accepted portfolio. So this fall, I'm gonna be going to Parsons School of Design in New York City. Yeah, and I got a pretty significant scholarship from them. I thought I'd show my Parsons portfolio and the portfolio from some of the other colleges that I applied to. I also applied to MIAD, which is Milwaukee Art Institute of Design, I think that's what it stands for, and SAIC, which is Chicago's, the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. I got accepted to both of those and got pretty big scholarships, and then I also applied to Cooper Union, which is also in New York. In the early admission, they only accepted like 20 art students, I think, and I got denied acceptance, but like I didn't really care. I wanted to go to Parsons, I wanted to go to New York, so I didn't apply to that many art schools. So yeah, I'm gonna be going to Parsons and I'm really excited. I actually didn't declare a major though. I'm going in undecided, but luckily most of the schools are, well, all the schools that I applied to at least, the first year program is the same for everybody, so you don't really like a need to declare a major. Those of you that are familiar with how art school portfolios work, also I'm sorry, the lighting in my room is horrendous, and I've mentioned that before. I will say it again, I'm so sorry. But like I was saying, so those of you that have like gone through the process or that are going through the process, you know that like all art schools want different things in their portfolio. Some of them want like sketches or maybe just finished works, observation, don't want observation, yada yada yada. I don't really remember all of the work that I put into the specific portfolios. And then the other thing is some of the schools do want to see kind of like a story with the portfolio, which is kind of difficult when you're like trying to show your best work, but like not all of it fits into like a story. It's not all connected, you know? So just keep that in mind. So I took AP Studio Art my junior and senior year in high school, and so the vast majority of my work fit under the category of like the theme that I produced for those 2 years. I'm gonna be reading off my phone a little bit for this just so you guys get like a clear understanding of what I'm talking about. So my junior year portfolio had different pieces that had a visual representation of what someone who was feeling controlled by something or someone who felt out of control, what they looked like, and I used the different elements of art to do that, facial expressions, so on and so forth. Also, I do take most of the pictures that I make art out of. My reference photos are like just pictures that I've taken of different people. My first piece is called Fuzzy Brain, and it's charcoal. It's 12 by 16 inches, and in this one I wanted to show the fuzziness going on inside the brain of the subject through the movement and the chaos of the line strokes that weren't completely blended. And this was actually a self-portrait, if you care. My next one is called Squirm, and it's ink on matte board. It's 16 by 12 inches. I took pictures of my dad and I had him move his head from side to side because I really wanted to experiment with movement in a piece. I aimed to just capture an angry man that was just shaking his head violently. The next one is called Forfeit, and it's watercolor, 10 by 15 inches. The girl is very slumped with her body language and also with the added dripping makeup and the colors in the background to show a girl that was just, you know, done with whatever was going on. The next one is called Untamed, and it's charcoal with white strips of paper. It's 12 by 16 inches. I kind of thought of the girl as like almost an animal. Okay, these mental blocks, these white strips of paper, are like a cage and blocking the subject from living freely. And these blocks needed to be overcame in order to carry on with life. Okay, and my next piece is kind of based off of that idea as well. It's called Invasion, and it's oil paint on wood. and it's 20 by 25 inches. So in this one, the background is intruding and overcoming the mouth and the eye of my subject, and this represents his background thoughts that are intruding his mental state and ability to think and feel clearly. This was actually my first oil painting that wasn't palette knife painting, so this one took me way too long because I was trying to learn how to deal with oil paint. And then the next one I have is called Thump Thumb. It's charcoal, 17 by 22 inches, and in this one I'm depicting a woman with either an actual or an imaginary headache, and she appears to be like completely overcome by this headache and unable to escape its pain. This one I actually based my Parsons challenge off of. So for the Parsons challenge, if I'm remembering correctly, you use a work of art that you've already made and you kind of like recreate it or work off of it and make something new. So for my Parsons challenge, which is this next piece, it's called Clarity, and it's oil paint on wood. It's a palette knife piece. It's 23 by 31 inches. This depicts a woman who has escaped the feeling of being controlled and confined in order to feel freed and confident in her body and her actions. The strut and like the body language of this girl is the opposite from the body language and like curled up position of the girl in Thump Thumb. If you've ever done palette knife painting, it's like very freeing to use the media because you don't really have to be exact and you kind of can just do whatever you want. I wanted to use the media to help further convey that freed feeling that the girl in Clarity was feeling. Then my next one is called Surrender, and it was actually a 3-part series, but the one that I included was my favorite. I don't remember how big this one was, maybe like 11 by 8 inches. This is what I did like the first couple weeks of COVID, just because, I don't know, it kind of fit in with my theme, and I let out my emotions onto these 3 pieces. So this one's watercolor. It's super delicate and like sad. For the next piece, it's called Vexed, and it's marker on mat board, and it is 9 by 12 inches. And for this one, I really wanted to experiment with marker because I feel like that's not used very often. Like, it's more of like a child's medium, and because of that, I was like, you know, I need some more experimentation. I need some new mediums. One demonstrates the intense emotions that this girl's feeling, and I used a lot of harsh shading and color with my marker. So that is all from my junior year portfolio. Well, actually, I take that back. I did make a couple of them this year. So now I'm gonna get into my other half of my portfolio. It has a lot of nature-y and animal-loving pieces because that's just what I'm about. So with some of the portfolios that tell a story, I kind of talked about how in order to get out of a dark feeling controlled, what I do to help myself is connect to nature and connect with animals. These next pieces convey my connection with nature and the idea that we should spread love to other creatures. Yeah, at some point I really want to help the world, the environment, nature with my art. So that's the goal. For this first piece, it's called The Outcast, and it's watercolor and ink, 11 by 13 inches. The girl that's seen in the work has invaded the space of the fish. She's not supposed to be there. She needs to leave the fish alone, and due to her intrusion, she has been caught by a hook. There's like a little skinny hook that's connected to her nose, and the fish around her taunting her almost because they're freed and she's not. She is caught by the hook, and it's like an outcast because like you cast out your fish line. She's an outcast in the environment. Yeah. The next one is called Les Belles Fleurs. It's French for the beautiful flowers. It's ink and watercolor, 5.5 by 9.5 inches. So I took this picture when I was in Michigan on vacation last year. I just wanted to depict the intricacy and the delicacy of nature. Okay, the next piece is called Teddy Bear. It's one of my faves, It was made in colored pencil and it's 8 by 11 inches. A little background on me, I guess. I'm vegan. I am just an animal lover, you know. And this one, I just wanted to show my belief that animals should be treated with respect and deserve our love and care. I wanted to show a girl who looks like she should be cuddling like a teddy bear. Little girls love their teddy bears and like to just cuddle them, hold them, nurture them, and I think that we should do the same for other animals. People rarely think about how much bees do for the environment. They deserve some love and appreciation, you know? My next piece is called Wood Nymph, and it's colored pencil on wood. It's pretty big, 11 by 44 inches. This girl is like morphed with a tree, and I just wanted to demonstrate that us humans are interconnected with nature and we're like one with everything. So she's one with a tree. Then this next piece is called Price Tag, and it's the only sculpture that I included. I don't remember what schools I included it in though. It's made of copper wire and there's a little plastic bag on it that has a recycle sign. It was kind of weird because I've been thinking about doing a sculpture. I wanted to incorporate plastic bags and like trees, and then I was just driving down the road that I drive on every day, and there was a plastic bag caught in a tree, and I was like, okay, I'm doing that. This just represents our elegant trees and that they're being polluted by things like plastic. Okay, and then here are a couple of miscellaneous pieces that don't really fit in with themes. So this first one is called Urban Slip and Slide. It's oil paint, and I don't know what size it is. All of my pieces right now are in a gallery because I got a scholarship, so I don't have them with me, or else I would have measured it for you. But this one is an abstract representation of a busy street on a rainy night. The next piece is called Nostalgia, and it's colored pencil. It's 10.5 by 13.5 inches, and I've grown up listening to my dad play guitar, acoustic guitar, so this is a picture of his guitar that I took. Just the look of this picture and like the idea of an acoustic guitar is like super nostalgic for me, so I made this for him. And then this next one is called Cleopatra. It's my dog Cleo. It's chalk pastel, 11 by 14 inches. This one's actually a picture that my mom took. It was when she was a puppy, and she was cute, and I was learning how to use chalk pastel. Now, if you want like an actual description, I say this elegant pup can be poised at times, however not all the time. Here she sits in the grass on a summer day. So it's true. That's yep. And then here are a couple images of some sketches that I submitted as well to some of the schools. I don't think that I submitted them to Parsons. If you guys have any more questions about my portfolio, about the application process, about the other things that I did that didn't relate to the portfolio specifically, my like high school resume, I guess, is that what it's called, resume? Let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. I'd be happy to make another video about my grades and just like the different clubs that I was involved in, leadership, etc, etc. And if you guys want to come with me to New York City and live life with me, you know, go on the journey with me, feel free to subscribe because I'm gonna vlog while I'm there. So it's gonna be a really good time. I'm grateful for you all. Tune in next time, guys. Bye!